Hello chaps, how are we all doing today? Beautiful day. Excellent weather we're having lately. A bit of a drought even. Yeah, in Ireland we're having a drought. Weird, isn't it? There's a new shade of green in Ireland. It's yellow, burnt. All the grass is burnt and everything else. But anyway, enough about that. Enough about the weather. Yep, and I got a haircut. Yeah, as you can see. Don't I look lovely? So I got a haircut. Yeah, nice tight one. Back to my old army days. Once you're institutionalised, you can't get away from it. I tried to let the hair go long, didn't like it, so back to the old army style haircuts. So, what's this update all about? We're doing an update on this. It's the Trumpeter's Russian T-54A model 1951. It's an old kit. Well, it's old for Trumpeter. It's one of the early Trumpeter kits. It's the white box ones. They went on then, and remember the blue striped boxes, and now they're onto the green the green boxes. And it's literally a case of quality. The white boxes were, I suppose, it was Trumpeter in their infancy. They're not the best. No, they're not the best. Bad fit. I mean, when you look at the sprues themselves, like if you remember from the unboxing, the sprues look grand. You know, the detail a bit soft, but it seemed okay. They seemed, the plastic seemed good. They're, no very minimal flash, minimal seam lines, that kind of thing. What you expect to see from, normal sprues. But when it came to the fitting, a lot of fit issues, an awful lot of fit issues. Things just didn't want to fit together. We'll do more about it when I get down to the bench. Then they went on to the stripy boxes. And even with that, they were an improvement on the white ones, but still not great. And now you get the Trumpeter in the green box, and they're absolutely fabulous, top of the range, without shadow of a doubt. I love the Trumpeter, but the older Trumpeters are not the best. So if you've got this one in your stash, I recommend that you actually build it for the experience. Lots of modelling input from you involved in it. Lots of fettling and making things fit properly. If you've got it, build it. Don't throw out a kit. I don't believe in throwing out kits. Give it a go anyway, If you're thinking of buying it, don't. Simple as that, just don't. Okay? Unless you get it for cheapest chips, and sure, why not? Give it a go. But overall recommendations, I wouldn't recommend it as a kit. So, let's get down to the bench. Let's have a look at how I'm getting on with it anyway, okay? Right, so with everything else, let's start off as usual with the instructions. Weirdly enough, all the colour callouts are for Tamiya paints. Yeah, as you can see, X1, X2, X7, X10, XF, 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 XL, and so on, right? So we start off, and we open the box, and we start off with the wheels. Now, we started off with these ones here, the little idler wheels, with no problems with them. They went together perfect, no problems with them whatsoever, They're actually quite good, nicely moulded. They fitted together quite nicely, no problems. The road wheels, again, no problems, none whatsoever. We do have a slight seam line, and there's the sprue gate things. I haven't them cleaned off yet. I usually glue them together, leave them there for a day or two, and then give them the clean off. It's easier and you get it nice and even, rather than trying to do them one at a time. Right, so again, no problems with the road wheels. And the same is for the idlers. Now I have the idlers on, so we'll just have a quick look at the idlers. Again, no problems with the idlers whatsoever. Okay, went together nicely. Tiny little bit of clean up, click together, perfect, absolutely perfect. Okay. Right, then we went on to the suspension pieces. Okay. A lot of play in them, quite a lot of play. So you could have, say, some up and some down. So you have to be kind of careful in that, making sure that they're all at a reasonably the same level. It's got one of the sort of the hole, like that, and the thing pops in with a little lug here, but the piece that fitted in was, say, that size, so it had plenty of movement rather than being a neat fit, it was a bit too small in here, so you had movement. So therefore the up and down bit here, you get a bit of play. So if you weren't careful, you could have some up and some down, and it might look right, but it'd be a case of there'd be some up and some down. So what I did was I kind of made sure that they were all even enough, as even enough as I could make them. Okay. Then you put on all these little thingies here on. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they're for. I haven't the faintest idea. But there's no marking or little square mark on the hull to show where they go, so you have to kind of work it out for yourself. But it wasn't too bad. I didn't have any problems really at that. Okay. Now I haven't fitted on the wheels because I paint them separately and fit them on, so you can get in painting around the back, as you know yourself. Okay. So then we went on to fitting the idlers. Okay. Now it gives two different sets, one if you're doing the motorized version and one if you're doing the static model. Obviously I'm doing the static model, don't have a motor for it. And it tells you here, hexagonal shaft. Okay, see it there? Hexagonal shaft. So I went searching everywhere for the hexagonal shaft. It's not in the box. You gotta go find your own shaft. So I went down, I looked at do a quick search on YouTube to see if anybody else made this kit. Was there a shaft that I was missing or something else? And I could only find one person that had built it, and he did a photo build of it, and it was Ivan the Terrible. And I noticed that he used a piece of wood. Yep. So I just used a bit of the oops, excuse me, I can reach one of them now. The things I put the figures on. Okay, I used one of them. Sanded it down a bit and got it to fit. Did the job, no problems there, But it's unusual that it doesn't actually give you the shaft, and you can't fit them on without that. So you got to go off and sort of locate your own shaft. Now I'm after bloody well gluing this thing together. Okay, so I can't think. But there you go with the shaft, right? And when I was putting that on, I had to make sure that the tracks would fit and all this, that, and the other. So I had to kind of wrap the track around it and make sure it was the right size and all that kind of thing. Not really problem wise, but should we say we did it anyway. Okay. Then you onto this mesh here that you have to fit. Well, you have to drill some holes. You get that in even the best of kits, so I'm not really worried about that. Then you have to fit these bits of mesh, right? So it gives you some nylon mesh. I have some. Just open the box there behind me. Get up the mesh. Let's see. Let's move along into the box. There we go. So you get this black nylon mesh. Okay. Which is easy enough. You make sure that you got one edge straight. See, as you see there, I did this side. Made sure a nice straight edge. Then held it up to it with a scalpel, cut around it. Okay, which is grand, but the only problem with that is that you end up with kind of holes in your in your instructions. But I got there anyway. Okay, so I got out the mesh anyway. Two that size, one this size. Fitted them in. Fit them into the underside of here. Fitted grand, and they look lovely. They do. They really look grand. No problems with that whatsoever. You don't need to go off and get photo etch. The mesh will do just as good. Okay, you fit them underneath there. No problems. Then you fit them to this, and then you fit this to here. First problem. This didn't want to fit in evenly, neatly. Okay, and as you can see, it's kind of slightly raised. You've got gaps in here. A nice little gap in there as well. So what I did was I fitted it anyway, and a bit of stretched sprue, just stuck it in there just to fill the gap, and a little bit of extra thin, and that solved that problem. Happy enough. Okay, that solved that problem. All right. I had no problems with the little supports, these pieces here. No problems with them. Slight problem fitting the exhaust cover. Okay, it didn't want to kind of fit over, so I just had to scrape away a bit of the inside of it, because the little legs, it's got as you can see here, it's got sort of 4 little legs. Right, they were a bit too thick, so I had to kind of file away a bit of the inside of it for it to fit down over the lump there. So you had to kind of fit it down over that. Just a little bit of filing away, and got that on anyway. Same idea with the cover that went onto it. That just needed a little bit of tweaking as well. Then put on these 2 round pieces here, well, curved pieces. Right, these 2 here. As you can see, they didn't really fit in so neatly, so it was a bit of filing, and any more it would have caused problems. So what I did was I fitted them in as best as I could. I'll use a little bit of filler now in a while, and I'll just fill in that little gap. Okay, it didn't want to fit no matter what I did. I spent about 20 minutes trying to fit 2 bloody pieces. So eventually I got, excuse the French, but I got pissed off with it, and I just stuck them on, and I said I can fill them after. Okay. Then we're on to the front mudguards. That's where I had more problems with. You know, fitting on these here, the mud flaps, whatever you want to call them. Okay, the front of the mudguards. Again, they didn't want to fit on properly. As you see, I have a kind of it's slightly down here. Perfect there. I just scrape away bits inside here, and even at that I didn't get them on very good, because I started kind of losing interest in it, to be quite honest, which I did start losing a bit of interest in it. At least at this side you've got a bit of track to cover it. I might do the same at this side here, just get a bit of Russian track and kind of stick it on over there. I get something to stick on over there because it is quite ugly. So I'm going to kind of cover up that, or do a bit of damage over there or something, because you know, tanks, they do get damaged and scraped and bumped and dinked. So I might do a little bit of damage over there, and that'll kind of help solve that. You know, that's the great thing about armour, is that you can rough it up a bit to make it look right. The fuel cans, no problems with whatsoever. The boxes, again, no problems with. The ditching log, just a little bit of clean up. Went on easy enough, no problems with it. Right, now it tells you to put on, there we go, with no problems with lights or anything like that, and the duck board, or whatever you want to call that, and these pieces here, the tow hitch assembly pieces, they needed a bit of scraping and fettling to fit in, but nothing really problematic, shall we say. Right, then we come on to, like, there's the boxes, like I said, they fitted on okay, no problem. I'm not worried about engines, so we didn't really worry about too much about that. Then it was a case of fit the top to the bottom. Okay, putting the 2 sides together. Whew, where do I begin? It went together okay, with gaps everywhere, serious gaps in it. Alright, if I can bring down the light now, we can probably see a little bit better. Okay, or probably not. Slight bit of filler needed along here, and even still you can see there's still sort of a slight gap here, but at the back is where I had a major problem. Right, now as you can see that's all nice and neat. Okay, but you can see the bit of light through it. Okay, no, that's not a bit of light, it's a bit of a shine from glue. Same idea again. I have to get a bit of stretched sprue, stick it in and glue it, because I was showing the lads last night, so I fitted that last night when I was on the hangout, and that whole piece there, you can see the thickness of that, just that little piece there, from there to there, that is a rod of sprue in there, fitted in there to fill that gap. Okay, now if that zoom in, you can see it a little bit better. That rod there, you can see it, that was the size of the gap at the back. Okay, so I had to get a bit of rod, like I said, stick it in, give it a rub of the extra thin, nice good bit of extra thin, and just go along with a scalpel, just give it a little bit of marking, so it looks like a nice weld seam. So it kind of, you know, to finish off that. Also had gaps on here and up here, same idea. Bit of stretch sprue, fitted it in. So I've got loads of little bits of sprue burnt everywhere, and the same at this side. And this side now needs another little bit. Okay, you can see that, how bad that is. They are flipping horrible bloody gaps, aren't they? They really are. Yeah, that's not nice at all. Don't care what anybody says. That is fucking ugly. Now, yeah, there is going to be mudguard over that, and you're going to have your tracks and things, so you're not really going to see it, but still it's there, and it's freaking, it's not nice. But it took at least a half an hour just to get the top on the bottom, which to me is the longest I've ever spent putting the top on the bottom onto it. Really is. Loads of fit issues, and the same around here on the front. That's the front line, and as you can see, it's down perfect there, almost perfect there, with a big lump in the middle of it. And to try and hold them together, couldn't get a clamp in there because I couldn't. I mean, if I clamped it up here, it was popping up, and because of the angle, it was very hard to clamp that. So I was sitting here like that, holding it for about a half an hour. Well, I wouldn't say half an hour, it's a bit of an exaggeration. 29 minutes. But no, I was there for a while trying to hold that. And even at that, then, when I let go, it kind of forced itself back up again. So that's going to need a bit of sanding, a bit of scraping, just to get that down, just to get it neater than what it is, because I'm not happy with that. So then I went on. It tells you to fit these, you know, the barrel, the fuel barrel holders at the back. Okay, it gives you the fuel barrels, but it doesn't tell you at any stage to fit them. Even on the pictures, it doesn't show it with them. But I like them, and I like having them on, so I said I'd fit them on. And from doing Russian armour in the past, and with other even good models that have these on them, you'll always have a problem if you put them things on first and then fit your barrels on later. You're going to have little problems, making most of the problems. So I decided to fit these to the barrels and then fit the barrels on. Just much easier. You can get it nice and cleaner and things like that. So the barrels themselves, alright, as you see, I'm using a bit of sprue glue filler along here. Not really a problem. I can clean that up with a bit of scraping and everything else. Just put the sprue glue on last night, so I had to leave it sit overnight. Some of the end caps, some fitted in okay, some didn't. But you know what the hey, that's neither here nor there. But it was a case of it could have been better. It could have been bloody well better, but they weren't. So you know, I use the good one at that side and something like that, because they'll be fit together, so you won't really see that. So as long as I have my outside ones are fitted okay, I'm happy enough with that. But they went down grand, and as you can see, look, there's more of that little that gapping. Not very neat at all. A little bit of filler, yeah, you clean it up and a bit of cleaning off, but it's on nearly every piece so far. Every piece has taken work, taken time, taken bits and pieces. You know, something that should, basic parts that should sort of fit together quite easy are not. But you know, can't crib too much, but I will anyway, because that's me. I do like to crib and whinge. So we're going to have them fitted on. They're going to fit on okay. I'm quite happy with them. So we're going to have the barrels at the back. I'm going to leave them off for a while, because you know, I don't want them to get knocked off while I'm doing other parts to it. Okay, so there's our barrels anyway. They're going to be fitting on there, and that's about as far as I've gotten last night. So that's the part that's this update finished. So what have I got left to do? So I got the unditching log on. I got to fit on the rear mudguard parts, the strut supports onto them. I've got the unditching log, and there's these two other little pieces got to fit in under here. Then I'm onto I fitted that. Then I'm onto the 12.7 heavy machine gun. Okay, that's got to be made up. And then we're onto our barrel. Okay, it gives you a choice of 2 barrels. It actually does give the 2 barrels. But all the photographs, all the pictures that are there shows the one with the fume extractor here at the front. This is the one without the fume extractor. They're both the same gun, like it says T-54, 1951, 100mm, T-54A, 1951, 100mm. So that's for the ordinary T-54, and this is for the T-54A version. But it does give you both, so you can do the T-54 or the A version. So this is the one I'll be doing with the little fume extractor. Then we're on to the turret. Okay. Again, it doesn't give you locator marks for these. You've got to do a bit of the old measuring to get them on. Okay. Then, as you can see, there isn't really much to go onto the turret, the top to the bottom. Make yourself an aerial or antenna, as they call it. The copulas, they seem to look okay. Pin vise, what is that? Make a hole. You've got to make yourself make more holes. Hole making. Right, then you got to fit on the handrails, a couple of other little lifting hooks, onto the mantlet. I think that's a vision port or machine gun port or something like that. I'm not sure. Sure, I'll be corrected. Hatch covers, fitting the barrel mantlet, a little O-ring there, and the commander's hatch and the loader's hatch, or loaders and commanders. Last few little bits and pieces, and then we're finished. So there isn't really much left to do, but yet when you look at the sprues, there's tons of stuff left on the sprues. I was thinking, God, I've loads of stuff left over. And then I came to this bit here, and you can see it. Parts not used. There's a list of parts not used. So it obviously they've just sort of 3 kits in one box. You can make different versions, God knows what else. So the pieces are there, but there are loads of parts that you don't use. So you're going to have loads of parts for your spares box, but I'll probably just dump them because there's nothing really there that of any use, shall we say. Nothing wants to fit properly. You got to go fiddling and fettling with bloody well everything. The tracks are rubber band tracks. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me in the slightest at all. Okay, and then we got to go paint it. And like I say, I'm going for this version here. The PAVN 202nd Armoured Regiment, March 1972. Okay, so it's just a plain Russian green with the North Vietnamese decals on it. Bit of weathering, little bit of damage to it and things like that, and then I'll be glad when I'm finished it, shall we say. I'll be glad when I'm finished it. So in the next update, hopefully I'll have got all the construction done. I'll have the tracks on, sort of dry fitting of the tracks on, and we'll have a look at it, and I'll give you my final thoughts on the construction. But so far I'm not impressed. I'm not devastated, but shall we say, I'm kind of being spoilt lately by doing pretty good kits. So a kit that you got to really work on again back, and the fit is not the best. Even when you do get it cleaned off and get it on, you can still see that it's not great. It's not right. So anyway, lads, that's it for this update. Stay tuned for future updates. I'll probably today's Saturday, so I'll get a bit done tonight and tomorrow. Might even get it finished off over the weekend, and we'll have a look at it on the bum on Monday. Don't forget to watch the bum on Monday. So lads, that's it for now. Stay safe, enjoy yourselves, have a nice weekend. And like I always say, don't forget, go out and buy yourself a kit, build it and enjoy it. This is John signing off and saying again, have a nice weekend and be nice to one another. Ta-da.